Thank you and welcome to Beyond the Classroom. We're so glad you've all joined us for Fall Tommie Days, and I'm looking forward to spending a little bit of time with you this afternoon. My name's Linda Bachman. I serve as Dean of Students at St. Thomas, and this topic this afternoon is one of my favorite topics, and it's a chance for our student leaders to share what life is like outside of the classroom at the University of St. Thomas. So they're going to share some of their own perspectives and experiences. And at the end, we've saved some time for question and answer. And as you have questions that might come into your head, I would ask that you use the Q&A function on the bottom of your screen versus the chat. It's easier if you filter your questions in through the Q&A function. So we'll, again, save some time at the end. And with that, we'll kick it off. And I would like to introduce Kyla.
Thank you, Linda. My name is Kyla. I'm a senior this year at St. Thomas. I'm from Shakopee, Minnesota, and I went to Prior Lake High School, which is about 5 minutes kind of southwest of the Twin Cities. I'm majoring in communications and journalism with a minor in legal studies, and I'm on the pre-law track here at St. Thomas. I chose to come to St. Thomas because as a first-generation college student, I wanted to find a college that I felt like really supported me and was the right size where I feel like I could get to know my peers and faculty really well. And after visiting, I just noticed that it was a really good fit for me. Just some photos on the screen here are pictures that I've taken while at St. Thomas over the past 4 years. On the bottom left is me and my freshman year roommates at an event. A picture of me out in St. Paul, a picture of my dog, as well as me at a football game, and the first day I met my freshman year roommates on orientation in the top right. A big part of why I came to St. Thomas was also because I've heard really good things about their academics and the personal attention that the faculty really give to their students. My favorite class since coming to St. Thomas was my Intro to Communication and Journalism class that I took my freshman year. I wasn't really sure what I wanted to major in, so having a nice intro class that I had to take for the core curriculum was really nice to explore something that I'd not thought about before. And we did a studio show project in that class where I got to pretend to be like a news broadcaster and help produce like a news story, which was really cool. And a really good experience to add on to my resume. So that was one of my favorite classes. And as you can see here, there is a layout of what my schedule looked like freshman year. Something I didn't know before I came to college is how much free time I'd have. So it was really nice to have some mornings off and some late afternoons off. So I had a lot of time to participate in clubs and activities or just spend time with friends, which was really nice to relax. Speaking of clubs, actually, there's been quite a few things that I've been able to get involved with since coming to St. Thomas, and I definitely recommend putting yourself out there in whatever way you can. I joined Pre-Law Society and Mock Trial when I came to campus as a freshman, and those were really great ways to get more involved into a major I was interested in, and also meet new people that shared the same interest as me. So you can see some photos from our past tournaments. And then every fall and spring, St. Thomas hosts an activities fair. And so that's where I signed up for Mock Trial and Pre-Law Society. But there's just so many other activities too that really there's something for everyone. And on the activities fair days, you can go through everyone's booth. There's over 150 different booths. So you'll spend quite a bit of time looking through the different clubs and organizations that St. Thomas has, and you can sign up for them. There's something for everyone, and you'll get to meet some other Tommie ambassadors that we have with other interests other than mine. And I also have spent a lot of time my past 4 years working while on campus too. In the bottom right, you can see a picture of me and my coworker, Priscilla, on one of our days giving tours at work. So that was a really big part of my St. Thomas experience, and was being able to work while being a student, which helped me pay for school. So that's another really big piece that I think helped me get to know community better. At St. Thomas, we have what we like to call our Tommie traditions. And so those are things that maybe alumni will talk to us about, or I love to share with people. One of my favorite is our Tommie Johnny football game, we have a big rivalry against St. John's, another school in our division. So every year there's a Tommie Johnny football game where there's a lot of school spirit. Just a really fun game to get out and hang out with friends. And then another one of my favorite Tommie traditions is March Through the Arches. So at the beginning of your freshman year, when you come to campus, you're welcome to campus with a speech from President Sullivan, and the whole freshman class walks underneath the arches together. It's kind of just a symbol of everyone entering the community as one. And then at the end of your senior year, the whole class as seniors will walk back through the arches together the opposite way, which just kind of shows that the community is branching out their separate directions after leaving St. Thomas. So I thought it was just a really cute tradition, and it made me feel really at home when I did that my freshman year. So I think those are just two things that help exemplify the spirit of being a Tommie. So yeah, thanks for letting me share a little bit about my experiences. And now I think we're going to turn it over to some other student experiences too.
Hi, well, I'm Sarah WLAZLO. I'm a sophomore here at St. Thomas. I graduated from Totino Grace in 2019, and I'm from Lino Lakes, Minnesota, which is about 30 minutes north of the Twin Cities. I'm majoring in secondary English education, and my current involvements are the Tommie Ambassadors, which is my favorite club on campus. And I also coach youth softball in my spare time. That bottom left picture is us winning state last fall. My favorite Tommie tradition, Kyla talked about Tojo a little bit, and I know some other panelists probably will as well, but I love the Cretan Haunted House because Halloween's my favorite holiday, and I love just walking through these rooms that they have set up on campus that are designed to scare you. And I think that's probably my favorite thing to do in the fall. But I really love St. Thomas because of the opportunities I get here. In the top right picture, I got to go hang out on the set of the Jason show because I worked with a nonprofit called the Fairy Godmother Project, which has free prom dresses, free makeup, free hairstyling classes. And they contacted me through St. Thomas, and they're like, hey, do you want to come on the morning news and model a prom dress? Of course I said yes. Who says no to something like that? But that's just one of the few things that St. Thomas has to offer that kind of brings me into the real world, which gets me really excited for graduating and becoming an adult.
Hi everyone, my name is ELYSE ZESWITZ and I'm actually from Alexandria, Virginia. So I have a bit of a unique perspective being from so far. I live about 10 minutes outside of DC, and when I went to high school at Thomas Edison High School in Virginia, and I'm currently a sophomore here at St. Thomas. I'm planning on double majoring in business and political science with a minor in sustainability. And some of the things I'm involved in on campus are Tommie Ambassadors, both like Kyla and Sarah mentioned, the Sustainability Club, the Damas Board, and Women in Business. And I feel like through St. Thomas, I've had a lot of exposure to build myself both as a woman in business and my leadership skills and developing those. For example, the Damas Board is a new opportunity that I recently got this year, which I'm really excited about. They pick 10 business students, and we get to talk to different nonprofits and choose which nonprofit we think should get $25,000. So I'm really excited for that this year. My two favorite Tommie traditions, just like Kyla, are the Marches Through the Arches and the Tommie Johnny football game. So the top right photo is me and one of my roommates at the Tommie Johnny football game, which I was not aware that there is such a big rivalry here. I remembered my mom talking about it because my mom went to St. Thomas, so that's how I heard about it. So my bottom right photo is me and my lovely family. And then March Through the Arches, like Kyla said, it kind of signifies coming into the community, which is something I was very nervous about being from so far away. So that top left photo is me and my freshman year roommates. And I really came to St. Thomas, not only because my mom introduced it to me, but I felt like I made so many great connections. For example, through Tommie Ambassadors, I met two of my roommates this year, and it really felt like a home away from home. So although I was nervous coming here, I feel like I had a lot of great opportunities. Now I work with a nonprofit, and I feel like I've just developed so much as a person being able to come here.
Hi everyone, my name is Logan GOETTL. I'm from Cheeseville, Wisconsin. Yes, that is a place because I get asked every time. There's only 20 people in Cheeseville, so if you're worried about coming from a small area, don't worry. It's not too bad. And I went to high school in Kewaskum, I'm sure nobody has heard of that either because, again, it's a small area, so don't worry about coming from small towns. But I'm a junior this year and I'm studying biochemistry. My favorite Tommie tradition is the tree lighting ceremony. It's a little bit different from what everybody else said so far, but the tree lighting ceremony, we have a big tree that goes up in the student center. And one day, a little bit before Christmas comes around, the president usually speaks, and sometimes the choir sings, and then they light up the tree, and it's really beautiful. They do it at night, and I really like the atmosphere there. I do a lot of different things on campus. I'm the president of the scuba diving club. I am also part of Tommie Ambassadors, like everybody else is. I work various jobs and positions at the chapel, mostly doing altar serving. I was a research student this past summer, so I got the opportunity to do research work on campus, which is really nice. There's a lot of opportunity to be able to do any sort of research that you'd like to do, and most of the time get paid for it as well. And now during the school year, I get paid to work in the stockroom in the science building to help keep the labs running smoothly. I'm also part of the the Aquinas Honors program. And then this past J-term, I studied abroad in Costa Rica. We did research in Costa Rica. And St. Thomas, I came to St. Thomas because St. Thomas offered a little bit of everything that I wanted. I like to be able to work with my hands. I like to be able to be hands-on, and the science department and the science programs really do a great job. You have a lot of opportunities for research, both through the university as well as through classes. So like I said, my study abroad was also research, and that was totally different than what you might get in a normal research lab. So there's a lot of opportunity. You know, you can come join Scuba Club and be a diver. And so, yeah, St. Thomas offered a lot for me, and that's why I came. I really like it.
So I'm Marty. I'm a senior at St. Thomas, majoring in marketing. I'm originally from Plymouth, Minnesota, so that's about 30 minutes northwest of campus. My high school is Providence Academy, so if anyone comes from a small Catholic school background, I have a lot of experience with that. Some of my involvement on campus is, like everyone else here, I'm a part of Tommie Ambassadors, and I've been in that since my freshman year. So in the bottom picture is a picture of me and my friends Sophie and Derek, who have also been ambassadors with me since the start. We were every year we would take pictures at the state fair together. Unfortunately, this year we couldn't, but we have 3 pictures of us at the state fair for each year. I'm a member of the Tommie Marketing Club, Club Tennis. I'm also a tour guide, so I have experience walking around and telling people about campus, so I know a lot about the different areas of study and the different buildings. And I've also studied abroad, so the top 2 pictures, the top right is me studying abroad in London. So I spent a semester abroad my junior year, fall semester in London with the London Business Semester, which is a program for all St. Thomas students who are studying business. So it's only St. Thomas students taught by St. Thomas professors. The top 2 pictures are from my experience in that. I also did a J-term my sophomore year where I studied abroad in Nepal. And that was a super cool experience. I got to learn a lot about Hinduism and Buddhism. We even got a chance to see Mount Everest on a sightseeing flight. So that was a really cool experience for me. My favorite Tommie traditions, I kind of forgot about Tojo, but I really do like Tojo. And also running through the fountain. We have a fountain outside of our student center at St. Thomas. And one of the traditions is at the start of your freshman year to run through the fountain. Some people just kind of make their own traditions. Like I know a friend group who runs through the fountain at the end of each school year. For Tommie Ambassadors, we used to end our relay race during our training, smashing a frozen t-shirt into the fountain. So I really enjoy that tradition. The reason I chose St. Thomas was because I wanted something closer to my home. I'm 30 minutes from home, but also I love that the general courses allow you to explore so many different areas of study. I came in wanting to be a biology major. I was pre-med, but then I went through chemistry, realized that that wasn't something that I was really interested in, but I'd taken economics, so that led me down the business route. I also really like the ease of studying abroad. 59% of St. Thomas students do study abroad at some point. So I really wanted to study abroad, and I've definitely made use of that 59%.
Hello, my name is Ethan KOSTYNIK. I come from Hudson, Wisconsin. I went to Hudson High School. I'm a second year this year, and I'm majoring in actuarial science and statistics as a double major. My involvements, I'm a Tommie ambassador. I do choir, and I love to play sports, so I like to participate in the intramurals that they provide here. It was really amazing. Last year we had a whole team, and we used to go every single night and play basketball because we had to practice so we could go and compete against the other teams. They have like t-shirts that you win if you do really well, and they have like 2 leagues usually. So if you want to be competitive, you be a competitive league, or you could be in a less competitive league if you're just trying to have fun, which is also really cool. And like, speaking of community, I forgot to mention or put on the slide that I had also done this program called Tutor Mentor Program. So something else that I really enjoyed that I do here is you can sign up to do the Tutor Mentor Program, where basically you are able to go to elementary schools around St. Thomas, and then you go into classrooms and you can help students who maybe struggle with some subjects. I was a math tutor. I love math, as you can see by my major. So I would go and I'd help my friend Jamar with math every Tuesday and Thursday. And it was just awesome to be part of, other people's communities as well. It just opens up connections for you. My favorite Tommie tradition is the Tommie Johnny football game. Last year, one of my friend's parents came from Iowa, and they got an Airbnb. So beforehand, we had like hot dogs and salsa. We just made a whole day of it, and it was amazing. And you can see there's a picture of me with my friend Michael down in the bottom left there with all the free attire that they gave you for the Tommie Johnny game, which is amazing. St. Thomas is always giving you free clothing, so be ready for that. I have like 9 purple shirts in my drawer right now. But yeah, you can see on the right there, that's a picture of my dad and I at the Christmas concert last year. It was really cool. We went downtown in Minneapolis in Orchestra Hall. It was amazing, so much fun. And you can see up at the top there, me playing some basketball with Michael again. Why did I choose St. Thomas? So originally I was looking at going into business or along those lines, like business operations. So I was either going to go to the U of M or I was going to go here. But when I got here, I actually met the Dean of Actuarial Science, and because the professors are walking around, you can just run right into them. So I ended up talking to him, and he kind of persuaded me, kind of sounded like exactly what I wanted to do. So I got into actuarial science from him, as well as the fact that I really like to have communication directly with my professors. So with the smaller classes here, you can always find the hours and go talk to people, which is something that I love about here. And even though we have Zoom classes right now, they still have hours set aside, so you can directly talk to your teachers if you need help. So yeah, that's why I chose St. Thomas.
Well, thank you to all of our ambassadors for sharing some of your personal journeys at St. Thomas. And this is a time now that we have some time for question and answer. And I've taken a look, and at this point, I don't see any questions in the Q&A box. I certainly have some questions prepared, but welcome questions to come in from other people. So I'll keep watching the Q&A box. But I am going to start, and I'll probably ask 2 or 3 of you to respond to this. And just to talk about how did you actually make friends when you came to college? I know that that's on the minds of a lot of students when they come to college, and it's a real concern. And so I'd love to hear a couple of you respond to just how did you connect and start making friends? And I'll start with ELYSE, maybe, if ELYSE wants to jump in.
Yeah, so one of my biggest fears actually was coming from Virginia. I really didn't know anybody but obviously my family who's from Minnesota. So I was kind of terrified that I would have no friends because I didn't know if everyone knew each other already at this school. But I really lucked out because I loved everyone on my floor. I actually lived in Flynn, so it was a really nice experience living there. And became very close with all of the people on my floor very quickly because we did events together. We drank apple cider together. We just had a great time together. And my roommate, Mary, she is like a St. Paul local, so she knew like everybody. So she also brought in a lot of friends that way. But I would say mainly through clubs, and don't be afraid to talk to people in your classes because everyone's just as scared as you.
I'm muted. Okay, thank you, Elise. Ethan, do you want to jump in just because I heard you talking about intramurals and that sounded like a way that you connected, but I'd love to hear more about how did you make friends?
Yes, intramurals is definitely where I got a lot of friends. I probably met 5 new people every single day just going there. Do I remember all of those people? Probably not, because there was a lot, but I did make many, many friends going through intramurals. But then also, if you just like Elise said, if you go to clubs, like I did swing dance club last year, so I met some friends from swing dance club. Or even on my floor last year, we all are still so tight together. We have a group chat with all of us in it, all 40 of us that we type in still to this day. So your floor can be really helpful for finding people to be friends with as well.
Thanks, Ethan. That's a pretty cool story that your floor is still communicating like that. And how about if we hear from one more? Maybe I'll go to Kyla if you want to talk just a little bit about how you connected.
Yeah, I think finding clubs that you're interested in, and Elise and Ethan touched on it, but really just trying different things. I was never athletic in high school. However, my roommate convinced me to join a soccer intramural team, and we lost pretty much every game, but it was still a great way to meet people, like Ethan said. Otherwise, just reaching out to people in class. Everyone kind of touched on this, but it's really hard to put yourself out there. But once you make a group chat for studying and meeting up with people at the library, you just grow your confidence so much, and you're more willing to reach out to people who you might not know super well, but just grabbing a coffee and working on some classwork together, I think is a great way just to kind of build your self-confidence and reach out to more people to maybe connect better with some people in your classes too.
Thank you. And a question just came in, and this question is talking about the fact that the person is Lutheran. Sounds like the student is Lutheran, and wondering how it feels to be not Catholic at a Catholic university. So some of you may, I don't know all of your backgrounds related to that. So some of you maybe raise your hand if you have something. Okay, Sarah, we'll let you jump in.
I am also a Lutheran at a Catholic school, so I totally get it. If you're interested in going to any sort of church services or talking to a pastor, they have great resources through our campus ministry. They're always willing to set you up. If like you don't have a car on campus, they will happily take you to a service if that's what you're looking for. And in all of my theology classes, my professors have been very aware that not everyone is Catholic at a Catholic university, whether that be because you are Islamic or you're Buddhist or you're atheist or agnostic or you're Lutheran. They're always willing to have a discussion, which I think is huge for any sort of Catholic university, because we don't want to shell you into one idea, one ideal, because that's not realistic. That's not real life. So that's just been my experience for sure.
Thank you, Sarah. Does anyone have anything to add on that's anything more to that?
I can add to that too, yes. So I am also Lutheran, a fellow Lutheran here on campus. And St. Thomas has a lot of programs that are non-denominational. So one of my roommates actually introduced me to Salt Company, where you kind of go and just listen to some music and get to meet fellow members of your community. But also my roommate, Mary, she was Catholic. And if I wanted to go to any event, I could, but it was my choice. And you have nothing mandatory that you have to go to. It's all like your own prerogative if you'd like to. And also on campus, I believe we're about 50% Catholic, 50% not. So you are not the only one who is not Catholic on campus.
Thank you, Elise. And I'm going to jump into a question now about study abroad. And Logan and Marty had both shared they've studied abroad. And I think it can be helpful for students to hear how did you choose your program? And we have so many amazing study abroad opportunities at St. Thomas. What are some tips you would give to a student related to choosing a program and just studying abroad in general? And Marty, do you want to start?
Yeah, I can start. So when I came to St. Thomas, I knew studying abroad was going to be a priority for me. So I had been on the study abroad page since before I even like got into St. Thomas, looking at the different programs, like how often they offer the different programs. And I knew I wanted to do it like as many times as I possibly could. So I figured the first time would probably be during my sophomore year. So during like the second semester of my freshman year, I was screening through all the different programs that they had for J terms because that's what I wanted to do first. I wanted just to get my feet wet. And I saw they had like the affiliated programs of St. Thomas, which are ones where it's not like St. Thomas professors teaching the programs, but then they have the UST and then what's called UMAIE courses. And both of those are taught by St. Thomas professors or they're taught by another associated school. So I ended up finding a program in that for a theology program, and that went to Nepal. And that was just more of I really wanted to go to someplace really unique. I wanted to go to someplace that not many people had been to. So I looked for that and I applied there and got in. For my semester abroad, I spent a lot more time looking for that. I ended up doing the London program because it is a St. Thomas program and it was all St. Thomas professors. Even though it is a little bit more expensive than other study abroad programs that might not be affiliated with St. Thomas, I knew I wasn't going to have to worry about any of my credits transferring or making sure they transferred correctly or my grades transferring late. So I knew that program was going to be perfect for me. And also having a lot of St. Thomas students on that program was something that was important for me because I didn't want to meet all these people who I would be studying abroad with for 3 months and then come back and be spread out across the country. I really like that all of my friends that I met when I studied abroad are back here in the United States. So those are just, or back here at St. Thomas. So those are just things that I really look for when I was deciding my programs.
Thanks, Marty. Logan, is there anything you would add on to how you made a decision about study abroad?
Yeah, my experience was much different actually. I was roaming the science halls and I saw a poster for a study abroad program that I thought I was just like, this sounds interesting. I had toyed with the idea of doing study abroad, but I didn't know that I wanted to do study abroad per se. And I was a little bit more nervous because I had been doing some pretty rigorous science courses like organic chemistry and physics and calc, and so a lot of that you like to be able to be on campus, be able to talk with your professors. So I was a little bit nervous having to or thinking about doing a study abroad program because there's a lot of work that goes into it besides uh, just taking the course. You have to plan for what you're going to pack, your passport. There's a lot that goes into it. But I learned that St. Thomas is actually really good with making sure that you have all the boxes checked and you know what you're doing. And so for my study abroad course was really great. I didn't know if it would fit into my major, and I actually reached out to the biochem chair and I said, hey, I'd really like to take this course, but it doesn't quite fit like with the class that's required for my major, but I feel like it could qualify as XYZ or whatever else. And the chair agreed with me, and so he agreed to, for that course, actually change that course so it was allowed to be part of my a credit for my major, which was really great because then I was able to get the required materials as well as enjoy a really great semester researching in Costa Rica.
Awesome. So it paid to go talk to a professor in person too. I'm going to ask a final question, but before I do, there's a really quick question that came in on the Q&A. Someone wondering how many different intramural sports do we offer? Do any of you have a sense of what the breadth of intramural sports is? I know we offer a lot. It's a big program at St. Thomas, So I don't think we know the exact number, but I would say go to our athletics webpage, and I'm sure you can find more information on intramurals there. And I'm going to close and just ask one. I'm probably going to only have two of you answer because I'm watching our time, and would love it if you could share just a tip for our students who are thinking about coming to St. Thomas. I'm sure likely you all remember what a big decision this felt like. So any advice you have for a student about making your college decision? What was helpful for you in making that final choice? And I'm gonna ask Kyla to go, and then I'll ask Sarah, and then I think we're gonna have to stop there.
Yeah, for sure. I am working on applying to law schools now, so I still feel that stress of application. But one thing that really helped me, and I always recommend, is putting together like a Word document or a notebook with all those like pesky deadlines and scholarship information. And then every time you're able to visit a campus or visit a school, write notes about how you thought that visit went and things you liked about that school or things you didn't like or questions that you have. So when you're making your final decision on what school is the best fit for you, and as you're applying to those schools, you can look back at that document or that notebook to make sure everything's in order, and you can kind of use that to weigh your options. And then lastly, just going to visit campuses and asking lots of questions along the way. We're just opening up in-person visits again. So if you guys are available to come into the office, we'd love to welcome you, and you'd get to have a student tour guide as well and give you their perspective. So I definitely recommend visiting if you are able to.
Thanks, Kyla. Sarah, do you want to finish us out with a response?
Love to. My advice is always just go with your gut. You know what's best for you. You know what's important to you. And for a lot of people, you go onto a campus and it's really the vibe it gives you. And that comes from you, your personal feelings, your emotions, your gut feeling. And that's something that kind of leads me through life and I know will help me in the future. So I think always just focus on that when you're visiting campuses, looking at colleges.
Great. Thanks, Sarah. Well, we are at our time, and I want to take a moment to thank all of our student panelists for joining us today. If we were in person, we would all be clapping for you in person. So thanks for sharing. Thanks for sharing with our audience. And to everyone who joined us, we thank you, and we're really glad you're looking at the University of St. Thomas as an option. We hope you'll continue to look at us and reach out with questions. Please reach out to admissions. We have great professional staff and great ambassadors, student ambassadors, who want to engage with you and want to answer all of your questions. So with that, I'll say thank you, and I hope everybody has a great weekend.